सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य मामेकं शरणं व्रज.
The miseries of material existence and the most hopeless conditions of life is the best possible opportunity to turn to God.
You're listening to Bare Knuckle Bhakti Shorties on the Bhakti Recovery Podcast with Jiva G, coming at you every Monday with a little spiritual something. Wow, everybody, good morning. It feels like I haven't spoken with you guys in a million years. Is that even a number? No, it isn't. So, I'm sick. You might hear that. But I'm out for my walk because I've been cooped up in my house, lying in bed for the last 6 days. It's too much. I need to get out, even if I'm sick, and take my medicine of fresh air in the woods. Gosh, it feels like I haven't, it feels so far away. The last, even because of the last few Shorties I pre-recorded before I went to Mayapur. So I haven't really spoken with you guys until since I've been in Mayapur. So 5 weeks or something. Wow. Hello. Yay. So I wanted to please excuse me. I'm sorry, I don't want to cough in you guys' ear, but I guess that's part of having a cold and being sick. Anyway, on to the topic of what I wanted to talk about: tolerance. Tolerance and tolerating this material body, and everything around that. And if I was really to talk about it layer for layer, situation for situation, I could talk about this for hours and hours. But I'm going to start with two very simple examples. And one of them is the physical body being sick, being uncomfortable, maybe breaking a bone, having a cold, maybe being terminally ill. Whatever, we're all terminally ill, actually, if we really think about it. No one gets out of this life alive, huh? So, of course, there's always that. It's always very easy to talk about, tolerating, when you're not sick or when you're not suffering or when you don't have, it's very tolerable to talk about that, right? And to talk from and I hear it a lot. I don't know, it's like this preachy sort of preaching, you have to and you must, and if you don't, speaking as if they are not included in the conversation of how we are all here doing the same thing. No matter how elevated you are, you have to still go through physical pain. You still have to still tolerate those things. And some people are, I would say, probably better equipped or more enlightened than others, for sure. And other people have to suffer. And that's what I have to talk about now, being on the pity pot. There's two ways of not being on the pity pot. There's and we talk about in adult children of alcoholics, the ACA program, we can have, the critical parent. Don't cry. Get up. Do what you got to do. And yes, while sometimes that helps, if we're not healthy in the way we handle things, if we're not equipoised about the way we do things, it's going to be that inner drill sergeant. And I have to say that inner drill sergeant helps me a lot until it becomes detrimental. And that's why I work a program, because I don't want it to become detrimental. My inner drill sergeant could tell me I need to start to run now while I'm sick. That would be ridiculously stupid. But I would say a healthy side of me would say, go out, get some fresh air, take it slow, and turn around when you're feeling like it's too much. And that's what I've decided to do today. And it's only because I'm in Krishna consciousness and working a program. That's it. There is no other reason why I would decide to do that, because with all of the practice and all of the learning and all of the going to the meetings and all of the, I would love to say all the chanting, but maybe it works subtly, or I don't know. Just because I don't feel it doesn't mean it's not working. But yeah, because of all of the tools that I have, working with the steps, working with others, service. And again, I say service. Because of all of these things, I'm able to speak on this, and I'm able to become a little more equipoised. Just a little more. I'm still a hothead. I think everybody knows that, who knows me. That is my nature. My charts say I'm a classic kshatriya. For those who don't know that, that's kind of like the fighter, Vedically speaking. And I would be practicing my dharmic by doing that in a healthy way, or in a Krishna conscious way, wherever you want to put it. For me, it's healthy and Krishna conscious. We could apply Krishna conscious things in an unhealthy frame of mind. And for me, it's really important to cleanse myself in any way that I can in order to show up for Krishna, show up for my fellow man and women, of course. And just share my experience, strength, and hope. And everybody has experience, strength, and hope. If you're a little self-reflective and you work a program and you're in Krishna consciousness, we all have experience, strength, and hope. So tolerating these physical things. So the first thing is physical. The second would be emotional, of course. So tolerating these physical inconveniences, this physical pain, these struggles, these things that we go through. How many detoxes, how many times have I kicked heroin? And that is excruciating. Methadone is the most excruciating. Doing that, but knowing what's at the end of that and having to hold on until that's over, that's just a lesson in itself. And the lesson in itself is this. This too shall pass. And the more you experience that, and the more you go through situations that are extremely painful, whether that's physically or mentally, and if we don't realize that this too shall pass while we're doing it, it becomes probably the most painful and hopeless situation it can. If we don't have a program, if we're not clearly holding on to Krishna by his lotus feet, these things can actually make or break us. It can make or break us. I can't tell you how many times just through using drugs, and this is, we're talking 27 years ago, coming on 28 years ago, how many times I've given up because the pain was too great. The goal was to be clean and sober. But my mind wanted the relief, the quick fix of the drugs. Short-sightedness, ignorance. That quick fix. When you're desperate for heroin, when you're in that desperate situation, or for any drugs, if you're desperate for, I don't know, if you're in an abusive relationship and you're desperate for the love of that person who's abusing you, you will go to any means to get that love. And that means forgetting yourself in Krishna. And that is really the road paved to the hell that we've created. And we don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to do that anymore. It is through every situation, and that's the thing. And this is where I see my own complete lack of forget the knowledge. I know the knowledge. But my lack of surrender is that having that knowledge and having the experience, not even the knowledge, the experience of living through something like that and then surrendering to that process of being clean. Why can't I do that with everything? Why? That lesson was learned in one compartment of my life. So I know what it feels like. I just can't imagine, or I would love to imagine. I would love to know what that feels like for everything. Imagine being completely surrendered to Krishna at every second of every day with everything in your life. Oh my God. There's no heroine or person or place or thing that could ever replace something like that. That I do know. And so little by little, in this lifetime or in the other lifetimes that I have to live in order to be able to be self-realized in that way, I'm sorry to compare it like this, guys, but it's like a video game. It's like level 1, level 2, level 3, and each life is like a level. And within the one life, you can maybe exceed 10 levels, 20 levels, 100 levels. And I used to think, when I got into Krishna consciousness, I was arrogant as hell. I was like, these Krishna conscious people, they don't know what surrender means. They don't know what it's like. What a fool I was. And still am, actually. That's all the false ego. And I have to tolerate that. I have to tolerate myself. Go figure. Tolerating yourself. That's pretty... We all have to tolerate ourselves. We have to tolerate our emotions, our physical pains, and all of that. Now, how are we going to do that? That's the question. Because nobody's excused in this life from Maya and the material miseries that are here in this world. Nobody's excused. No one. You can have... Some people have better luck than others, but no one's excused. So there we go with the physical. And actually, what I just said is the mental and emotional as well. And we just copy paste that conversation and put it in the mental, your mental struggles and emotional struggles. And the thing is when we say mind, body, and spirit, I don't believe that the spirit needs any doctoring. The spirit is pure. We're pure spirit souls. All we're trying to do is to realize that. So spiritually, if we're looking at the soul, there is nothing wrong there. Because we're part and parcels of Krishna. And the thing is, if we want to keep realizing that, we got to hang on to Krishna's feet. It's like, I get this image in my head of like these giant feet. And I'm hanging on to the ankle of Krishna while the wind is blowing and my legs are in the air and it's blowing and blowing. And I'm just hanging on. I know that's dramatic, but sometimes it really does feel like that. Sometimes it feels like a cool breeze and I'm just lying with my hands under my head and enjoying the sun on his feet. And sometimes I'm running away from his feet because I think I'm in control. I'm the doer. I'm the knower. I'm the one. Like in the 6th and 7th step. We become ready to have Krishna remove these defects of character. Our control. Our ignorance of thinking we do have control. We're not helpless, but we are powerless. People, if we don't realize that, then we're screwed. I'm not helpless. I've got all the tools. I've been given all the knowledge, perfect knowledge. through Krishna consciousness, through the 12 steps. It's perfect knowledge. Whether there's parts of it I accept or not, that's another whole nother issue. Whether I practice that, that's another issue. But Krishna, you ask Krishna in the 7th step to remove them, not me. And when I think I can remove those things, when I think I can remove the control, when I am the doer, I am the knower. The I, me. Jesus Christ. Holy Krishna. This is really something that's a lifelong process. I always have to remind myself that it's a process. I'm not going to come to that. Look, it's a one in a lifetime. I think it was a one in a lifetime miracle that I was able to literally see a burning bush while I was surrendering to the disease of my addiction. It was literally like the heavens opened up and I had a spiritual experience. And I never had to use again. And it felt like a spiritual experience. It's the most beautiful time I've ever had in my entire existence. I even get teared up when I talk about it. It was so beautiful. Oh, to live in that complete surrender, the complete letting go of all control, and knowing that God is in control, and resting in peace with that, living my life. Who wouldn't want that? You'd be insane if you didn't want. I mean, I'm sorry, but I find it insane if that's not what you want. Although this world is insane, so I don't even. It's like an irreligious world is the problem in the first place. As far as but it is what it is. All right, guys. I think I have to turn back. I'm not feeling so good. But I'm really glad I got to talk to you. It's so good for me. So I'm so happy that someone is listening to this. And I really hope that this experience or what I'm talking about just touches somebody and can help somebody and give somebody some hope, because miracles do happen. And the maintenance of those miracles, we have to do that together. We have to do that together. Maintenance of miracles have to be done in a Sanga. It can't be done alone. It doesn't work alone. Alone, we are our worst enemies. We're in a bad neighborhood because we are so conditioned that we're all going to be constantly acting upon the conditionings that we've had in this world. What can we do to change that? We have to keep going together, getting reminders. I cannot emphasize that more. Show up. We show up for each other. We show up to meetings. We show up in the Bhakti recovery group. We show up for each other. And we share. I get something every time I go to a meeting from every single one of the people who go to meetings. I get something from you every time you share. There's never a meeting that I leave that I said, that was shit. Excuse my language. Never has that happened to me. And why is that? Because I'm looking for the similarities and not the differences. And I'm looking for the lessons. Even if I go to like a regular AA meeting or an NA meeting, with the knowledge of Krishna consciousness that I have, and even if the whole meeting was a pity pot session, because it happens often in Germany. I'm really sorry to say that. That's why it's kind of sad, but it's the truth. Even if it was a whole pity pot session, I still leave with something. And even if it's, okay, I need to work on my program because I have the potential to be a pity potter. I have the potential to do things like that. So I gotta work, I gotta buckle up, man. I gotta just suit up and work my program twofold. Does that even make sense? Twofold? No, wait a minute. You know what I mean. Looking for the lessons, looking for the similarities, looking for the experience, the strength, and the hope. And that's the thing. Another thing. I know this is kind of going off subject, but I'm on a roll right now of thought. I think it's so important to go to a meeting and share our experience. Exactly these three things. And only these three things. Our experience, which means it could be pity-potting. You could say, today I feel like crap because this is going wrong, and this is going wrong, and this is going wrong. And the strength. But I'm doing this. Here's the strength, the solution, the things that we're doing but I showed up for a meeting today. This is what I did. I'm feeling like crap, and I showed up for a meeting. That's the strength. And the hope is that I'm here, and I want to continue coming here, and that's hope. I'm not saying you can't come and express. I think a lot of people get afraid of that. Like, experience, strength, and hope. I'm just in a bad mood. I don't want to come to a meeting. That's exactly when you should come to a meeting. Because someone needs to hear what you got to say. Someone's going through the same thing you are, or had, or will be. And even if you think that nobody liked what you shared, somebody will go home and something will happen to them maybe in weeks from then, and they're going to remember your share. And they're going to say, but this person had the same thing. And this person did this and this and this. And we reach out to each other. Oh gosh, it's so important, people. I can't express myself even more than that. So just come to a meeting. Show up for each other. We're in this together. We really are. Whether you want to or not, whether you think so or not, we are. That's a fact. Anyway. Okay, my lovely lovelies. I love you all, and I hope to see you at a meeting. And P.S., by the way, we are becoming a nonprofit. This is an official announcement. We are in the process now, the Bhakti Recovery Group, in becoming a nonprofit organization. We're also collecting funds to become that nonprofit. We have happily reached, this is a little report, we've reached $2,000, which covers our lawyers' costs, and a couple hundred extra, which will go right back into the fund, of course. And I'm really asking anyone, please, to contribute if you can, even if it's like $5. Come on, $5, like a coffee. Well, if you're drinking coffee, if not, $5. I mean, how many things do we spend stupidly on Amazon? And even if you're not in the program, help us help ourselves. So thanks so much. And if you know anyone who would also like to contribute, or if you want to wait until we are an official nonprofit, please do. All right, guys. Love you all. Have a great week. And Hare Krishna, Haribol. Thanks for listening. I hope you liked the Monday Shorties. Don't forget to check out our full-length episodes on Thursdays. If you like what you heard, spread the word.
सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य मामेकं शरणं व्रज.
The miseries of material existence and the most hopeless conditions of life is the best possible opportunity to turn to God.